Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m., a major change overnight in how Aurora handles its homeless crisis.
I'm Denver 7's Veronica Acosta. The city's camping ban is now in place. The new restrictions those living on the street now face, and the outreach team helping them get into permanent housing.
Plus, new predictions for Colorado's housing market. We're going 360 in depth on the likelihood of seeing prices drop anytime soon.
And the NFL draft kicks off today. While the Broncos don't have a first-round pick, we're looking at the roles they're hoping to fill.
It's tough. I mean, to wait that long, and there's going to be players falling, and I know I'm going to get jumpy, and the room will get jumpy.
Well, that is the price you pay to pick up Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
So the Broncos' first pick will be at number 64 tomorrow.
Wow, yeah.
It's going to be good, though. Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. And some more good news in the weather today. We have some nice temperatures out there, at least. Warmest day of the week.
Doesn't it feel like this is going to take forever, though, for the season to start?
It really does. I feel like we started way too early.
Yeah, the height. We're all way too excited early on. Right now, you can see, you're right, from our Lyman camera, beautiful. Viero cameras out east showing a lot of sunshine. There's a little high cloud cover out there this morning, though those temperatures are going to be really mild. You'll want a sweatshirt, a light jacket early on. We'll be at about 63 degrees, though, by 10 o'clock. So your fresh air forecast is yet again another warm one. Drier, though, today. We picked up a few much-needed rain showers yesterday. Today is just going to be a little increase in cloud cover. 75 to near 80 this afternoon in Denver. Greeley 79, Fort Collins 77, closer to 90 across parts of southeastern Colorado. 50s and 60s for the Central Mountains, 70s on the western slopes. So it's warm. Now tomorrow we're tracking our next cold front. Not only will the winds pick up, but we have more snow for the mountains and more showers for the plains. We'll take a closer look at the timing of this next storm on the Super 7 Day, Jason, coming up.
I've heard from a couple of upset viewers here this morning who are looking at the Wadsworth. You know, I talked about this yesterday on that northbound side and southbound side of Wadsworth, basically between 39th and I-70, especially around 44th, all the lane shifting that was happening on the overnight hours. Take a look from Air Tracker 7. They're over it now. And this is at 44th, so this would be the northbound side. They are, as you can see, starting to pick up the cones. They were supposed to have 2 lanes open north and 2 lanes open south. The 2 southbound lanes are open, 1 lane open northbound right now, but they are starting, you see this guy right here, starting to pick up the cones and get the lanes open. So this is going to be a big difference in this interchange come in the next several months and years, where they're going to have that continuous flow interchange built right here at 44th and Wadsworth. So the construction continues through there. If you check my Twitter page, at Denver 7 Traffic, I just put a link to the weekly updates of what happens out here every week. Take a look at the rest of the drive out to the west side of town, north side of town, east side of town. It all looks okay for right now with just building traffic.
Well, we do have some breaking news right now. A family in Larimer County is waking up without their toddler. Certainly a scary situation, and we want to get the word out here. The sheriff's office says they found the boy around 3rd Street between Roosevelt and Kennedy Avenues in Wellington this morning. He's 3 to 4 years old with blonde hair and blue eyes. The boy is nonverbal, though, and is wearing a black onesie. So call the number on your screen, 970-416-1985, if you can help deputies find his parents. In a controversial move, Aurora city leaders narrowly passed an urban camping ban, and while you were sleeping, those new rules went into place.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta has been tracking this for months now as this went through a long process, different changes, new rules added. Veronica, explain, bottom line, what's changed?
So starting today, those experiencing homelessness, they can no longer set up an encampment on public property without permission. But before law enforcement comes over and clears out one of these encampments, these folks have to be given proper notice. City officials actually have to let them know 72 hours before they clear out an encampment in order to give them the chance to relocate. This can only happen, though, if the city has open shelter options for those having to leave the place that they're calling home. The measure passed Aurora City Council more than a month ago now. It was on his 3rd try. Council members did add an amendment allowing the city manager to create a policy related to storing these personal property items from these homeless camps. That policy must include how long those items will be available to those receiving homeless services after a sweep. We spoke with an Aurora team that focuses on getting resources out to those in encampments 5 days a week. They say they aren't sure how this ban will change their jobs, but they said rather it won't be changing their mission.
I expect my job to change regardless of what's happening in other realms. But I know that as long as we are continuously working with the city and with the other organizations who serve our populations, I'm confident that we will be able to reach our goals.
Days ago, we asked Aurora city officials about that policy on storing items. They said the city council will be discussing that policy during a meeting. That's happening on May 2nd, so we'll keep you updated on those changes. We're live in Aurora this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. Castle Rock police have identified this man, 32-year-old Matthew Buchanan, as a person of interest in a suspicious fire this week. A woman was found dead inside a Castle Rock home that caught fire. Buchanan was last seen driving a white Dodge minivan with temporary Colorado plates 3964372. The victim who was found in the home was Elizabeth Biorlo. Police have not yet said how she died. Court records, though, show last year the victim had a restraining order against Buchanan. Denver police are still trying to figure out who shot and killed 3 people in an apartment. We brought you this as breaking news yesterday morning. A young boy, a woman, and a man were all killed at the East Range Crossing Apartments in Green Valley Ranch. Police have not identified the victims yet.
Well, Denver is now a step closer to restricting concealed carry in city-owned and leased buildings along with Denver parks. A city committee approved the measure, which will send it to the full council. The policy was actually previously in place, but was then repealed because of changes to state law. If it passes again, police and licensed security guards would be exempt. Also this morning, a group of Denver parents is pushing the school district to keep its bilingual programs in place. DPS Moms Fighting for Public Schools plans to hold a press conference at 8:30 at Colfax Elementary. They say the district has dismantled transitional native language instruction programs, especially at the smaller schools. The group is demanding DPS upholds its consent decree to improve multilingual support for students.
Well, we knew it was going to be a tough run, and sadly, the Nuggets season is over this morning. They lost to the Golden State Warriors in Game 5 last night of the playoffs. It was a close one. The final score, 98-102. The Warriors will go on to play either Memphis or Minnesota. And as basketball season ends, we're very hopeful for football season. The NFL draft starts today in Las Vegas. The Broncos do have a first-round pick this year, or do not, rather, have a first-round pick, as we've been saying. We traded it away for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, second-round pick at number 64 will be there first. Our Broncos insider Troy Rank has a look at some of the needs the team still hopes to fill in those later rounds.
Yes, it's here, the NFL draft. I love this time of year. It intertwines our love with pro football and college football. We see dreams come true. We see some kids make millions and some make memes. It's different this year for the Broncos because they do not have a first-round pick. But oh yeah, they have Russell Wilson. That's better than any first-round pick they frankly maybe have ever had in franchise history. So don't worry. If you're worried about that, just watch his highlights for a few nights. You'll be fine. But they do have plenty of picks in this draft. 9 overall. 3 in the top 96. This is GM George Paton's wheelhouse. In his first year in charge with the Broncos, he got 6 impact players, including Pat Surtain and Javonte Williams. This year, the first pick is at 64. My projection and hope privately is Chad Muma, the linebacker. He's from Legend High School. He played at Wyoming. He's rangy. He's fast. He could be a 3-down backer. He might not be available there. So you'd look at cornerback like Kobe Bryant or even a guy like Roger McCreary from Auburn. You move on to that 3rd round. Kobe Bryant could be there at corner. And early, maybe even that second day, Nick Bonita. Those are some of the things to keep an eye on for the Broncos. They need an edge rusher, they need a corner, they need a tackle, and they need a tight end. Russell Wilson, I believe, will get them back to the playoffs, but you got to win in the margins if you're going to be a good team. That is why it's the time for George Paton to hit another home run in the draft. It might start tonight. It's unlikely, but Friday, the phones are going to be ringing down at Dove Valley as Denver looks to beef up their roster. Reporting for Denver 7. Troy Rick.
It is like Christmas morning for football fans. You can watch round 1 of the NFL draft right here on Denver 7 at 6 p.m. and then stick around for a special post-draft newscast at 9:30. Lisa.
It is going to be a pretty pleasant day today. Warm and dry, though. Unfortunately, we picked up a little bit of rain yesterday, but today is going to be dry. There will be a little increase in cloud cover, mid to upper 40s as your kids are walking out the door this morning. A mild start. Make sure they've got a sweatshirt, but it's t-shirt and shorts weather this afternoon. 78 between about 3 and 5 o'clock. It'll be warm. Great patio and park weather today. Not so good tomorrow, Jason. It's going to get windy and chilly. I'll show you that coming up.
I mentioned this crash just a bit ago. This one on northbound I-25 after Castle Pines Parkway. It's all off to the right right shoulder now. At one point we had the left side and the right side blocked, but everything's over here to the right. So watch out for the fire rescue crews that are in there now. Make sure you move over to the left coming out of Castle Pines, Castle Rock to get around it. Traffic's going by them pretty quickly right now.
I'm Denver 7's Jessica Crawford, and new this morning, a report predicting when housing prices are expected to drop in markets across the country, but things aren't looking so hot for us here in Colorado.
Also, as most of us go back to the office full time, we're learning a Colorado city led the nation for remote work when the pandemic first hit.
And sound the horns here. A Lakewood man shares his secret to making it to 100 years old today.